It's of love coming straight into you. Let's get to right and take our time because I know you need it too. I got my city doing front flips when every father made a rapper jump ship. I guess that's why they call it where I stay. Clean up the streets so my daughter can have somewhere to play. I'm the blueprint to a real man.
Hey guys, it's Abby. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on this fall look right here. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe so you can check out my other videos when I upload. And other than that, let's just hop right on into the video. First thing I'm going to be doing is priming with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And I'm just going to be blending that out with a damp Real Techniques Beauty Blender. Next, I am going to be going into my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and with my Morphe M441 brush, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Desert Sand. And this is going to be my transition shade. I am going to be applying it to the crease and blending it upwards towards the eyebrow. Next, I'm going to be going straight on in with Amethyst, and I'm going to be applying this to the crease and to the lid. I'm going to start by applying it to the crease and blending it out a little bit, and once I'm satisfied with how it is in the crease, I'm going to be applying it to the lid as well. Next, I'm going to be going into my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here, and I'm just going to be applying this to the outer V of the lid and blending it into the crease to darken this part up a little bit. Then I'm going back into the palette and I'm going to be taking this deep purple shade right here, and I'm going to be tapping off the excess because you do not want to go too crazy with this shade. You want to do a little bit at a time and work it upwards to make it darker. And I'm just going to be applying that to the very outer corner of the lid to deepen it up just a little bit more. Next, for the halo eye, I am going to be taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and this little brush right here, and I'm just going to be dipping it into the concealer. Then I'm just going to be doing almost like as if I was doing a cut crease, and I'm just going to be sculpting out a line that's along the lid and then dragging this down. And then I'm just going to keep my eye closed because I do not want to transfer the concealer up. And I'm just going to be going into my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette and taking the shade Desert Sand again. And I'm just going to be using the shade to set it. Next, I'm going to be spraying this brush with MAC Fix Plus. And then I'm going back into the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette and taking the shade Retrograde. And I'm just going to be applying that right over the concealer. And then I'm going to go back, spray the brush, and apply it and repeat that process until the whole thing is covered and I'm satisfied with how it looks. Next, I'm going back into the Desert Dusk palette and taking the shade Amethyst, and I'm going to be starting in the inner corner, and I'm just going to be dabbing that on the edge of the shade Retrograde that we just applied to kind of blend it together so it is a little more seamless and not just a thick line that stands out. I'm also going to be doing the same thing on the other side with the two shades that we used from the Morphe palette. I'm going to be starting out with the first one that we used first and then going on to the second one that we used second to once again blend and make sure it's not a harsh line. And then now grabbing that second shade. Then I'm going to be taking this shade first, and I am just going to, I almost dropped the palette. I'm just going to be applying that towards the inner corner to deepen it up a bit. Next, I'm going back into the palette and taking that second deep purple shade, and I'm just going to be applying a little bit to the inner corner of the lid, once again to just deepen it up. Next, before we do the face, I'm going to be going off camera and applying Black Magic Lashes in the style Nirvana. Now I'm going to be applying my NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in the shade Siberia with a damp beauty blender. Next, I'm applying my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer underneath my eyes to conceal my dark circles and brighten them up. And I'm going to be blending it out with the same beauty blender. Then I'm just going into my Coty Loose Airspun powder, and I'm going to be first setting the under eyes before it creases, and then setting the rest of my face. Then to bronze up the face, I'm taking my Hoola bronzer and the Hoola bronzing brush, and I'm going to be bronzing up the hollows of my cheeks and the high points of my forehead. Now I am going into this Makeup Revolution blush palette, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here. I've actually never tried these before, but I'm going to be taking that shade right here because I believe it will look best with this look. So I'm going to be applying it to the apples of my cheeks and blending it backwards towards my hairline. I actually really like this blush. It's a really glowy brush, not really matte, and I really like making my skin look glowy, so this is definitely a gorgeous shade, and I really love how it matches with this look. Now I'm going to be applying my Mary Luminizer by The Balm with this Morphe R36 brush, and I'm going to be applying it to the tops of my cheekbones, my brow bone, a lot to the tip of my nose, and then some on the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to be taking my MAC Fix Plus spray, and I'm going to be spraying it all over my face to kind of blend everything together, and so it all goes nice and nothing looks like it's layered on top of each other. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going back into my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and I'm going to be starting off with the shade Eden, and I am going to be putting that under my lower lash line. Now I'm going into the shade called Saffron, and I'm going to be applying that to the outer half of the lower lash line. And I also forgot to mention the brush I am using for this is the Morphe M149 brush. Moving back into the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, I'm going to be taking this shade right here. It is that deep purple shade that we were using earlier, and I'm going to be applying this to the outer quarter of the lower lash line just to deepen it up in the outer section. Finally, for the inner corner highlight, I am going to be taking the shade called Celestial right here. I may need to go in with Fix Plus, but I'm going to be applying that directly to the inner corner, and I think you should be fine without Fix Plus. This is applying pretty nicely. For my brows, I'm just going to be setting them in place with a clear mascara from Maybelline. That'll act like a clear brow gel. And then off camera, I'm going to be doing my lower lash line mascara, and I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Carbon Black. Finally, to finish this look off, I am going to be using the Too Faced Melted Latex Liquefied High Shine Lipstick in the shade Hopeless Romantic. After you have applied the lipstick, that is the final look. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!